entertain any suggestions from interested citizens.
My name's Meltzer.
Could you come down, sir?
My name is Meltzer. David Meltzer. Now, I'm not a crank or anything, but I'd like to know, what about Kelsey Street?
Several organizations that encompass that area have already appeared before this commission. The Ridgewood Neighborhood Association, the Midtown Community Association, they both represent Kelsey Street.
Nobody represents us. They couldn't care less. They got problems of their own. You look on your map. On the east there, you got those stinking slums. You want to get rid of them. More power to you. And on the south and west, the apartment buildings, well-heeled, and the other side of the river, we're bottled up in there, and who cares about our problem?
Mr. Hollister. Sir? Would you care to answer this gentleman?
Most of us have lived there all our lives. It's a good block, and we want to stay.
I think, yes. Only one building is coming down on Kelsey Street, number 704.
But it's not coming down.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, excuse me, but you wait a minute. You say you want to keep good buildings? Well, they don't build like that anymore. 4-inch plaster and no lousy 2x4 joist. My tenants are getting shoved around like canned goods in the shelf. And who talked to us? Who even asked us once how we felt? Nobody. Because to the city, we're just a number, HR 704-309, and because there are only 9 people in our building. And who cares?
Excuse me, Mr.
Meltzer.
Mr. Meltzer, am I correct? You definitely represent 9 people among the 200,000 in the Midtown renewal area.
You bet your ball game. They all owe me money. I run the grocery next door.
Mr. Meltzer, it has taken us 7 years to get this far. Endless planning, countless hearings. And now at the last minute, you want to blow the whistle on a $123 million plan?
No, just 46 feet of it.
And why? So that your 9 tenants can stay put?
All right. You don't care, but I look after them. One old guy's blind. Now those people fall apart without me, and I mean that.
This plan involves 200,000.
I don't care if it involves 200 million.
Mr. Meltzer, the city of New York is fully aware of its responsibility to each and every citizen. There are definite relocation procedures in cooperation with the Housing, the Redevelopment Board, and many civic groups. It's our desire to relocate persons with a minimum of inconvenience.
Those tenants are my responsibility. Like my father and his father before him. They live there. They have a right. I told them they could stay, do you hear me? And they're going to stay.
Mr. Morgan.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
The Commission specifically requests the Community Welfare Service to assist in the relocation of the tenants at 704 Kelton Street.
Certainly. We'll get right on it.
Well, the fact of the matter is, Mr. Santalio, this building is coming down, and we're going to have to find a place to move.
Oh, no. That is not true at all. We will not have to move.
This building has been condemned.
And the playground for the new school is going to go right in this space.
No. The city will put the school and the playground some other place. Mr. Meltzer was at downtown this morning, and he assured me he has taken care of everything.
Hey, you. What are you bothering the old man for? Mr. Santalio, I fixed your lunch. It's on the kitchen table.
Ah, thank you.
I'm Morrison. What do you want?
Well, we're trying to help you people find someplace to move.
Move? Who's moving? I like it here. I can walk to work. Mrs. Morrison, this building is coming down. Oh, yeah? Well, what do you know about it? Dave's the landlord, and he says we stay.
Sweetie, there aren't enough artist lofts in this city as it is. So why tear mine down to build a 40-story rabbit warren, huh?
Because there's about 400,000 rabbits in this city that don't have any water.
Here, hold this one, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, all I know is Dave said he'd take care of it. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, but look,
Say, I think it looks even better without it. What do you think?
What is it?
Well, I call it Kelsey Street. I figure it's worth at least a week's groceries from Dave.
That tears it. Not only does the sovereign city of New York give me the bum's rush, but they send you two jokers to give me a handout.
We are not with the city, and no handout. We only want to help you, Mr. Meltzer. Help you find a new store, a new place to live. The new school playground will occupy this space.
Like hell it will.
Are you against playgrounds, Mr. Meltzer?
Well, they're in my building, yeah. They got the whole city of New York to pick from. I got 46 feet from here to here. Hey, Walter!
The playground site was very carefully chosen.
Chosen my foot. Somebody stuck a thumbtack in a map, and I can still feel it. Hey, assistant manager, walk Mr. Santalio to confession. You uncrate that stuff later. And, Walter, take off the apron.
You get a fair price.
What for? My refrigerator? Cost me $3,500. Collecting grocery equipment isn't a very popular hobby.
Well, the city isn't going to steal your building, you know. You'll get a fair appraisal value.
Yeah, if I owned it. But I don't. I got a long-term lease like my father and his father before him. What with groceries on the cuff and new fixtures, whoever could save enough money to buy the building.
But you put in the improvements.
Why not? People don't want to trade in a dump. Besides, we live here, and so do my tenants. If the city tears down this building, my lease is null and void. So I'll just move everything out in the street and have an open-air market.
You've got quite a temper.
Yeah, I'm peculiar. Somebody slugs me, I get annoyed.
By law, the city has to offer you 2 other sites.
There's only one site here. 3 generations right here.
This isn't done haphazardly, you know, or heartlessly. Before an urban renewal plan of this magnitude even gets off the ground, you and a couple of million other people get figured into it.
I get figured right out of it, you mean?
No one's trying to deny you your rights.
They don't even want to listen.
Did you try to find out?
I've been bloodying my knuckles on every door at City Hall. Here, take a look at this. The Bureau will be glad to discuss HRM-704-309. Please complete the enclosed form and write. Do not call for an appointment. I'm the man of tomorrow, the living number. Well, I'm not a number. I got a name, David Meltzer, and I live here, 704 Kelsey Street.
I guess you got tangled in a little red tape.
A little. Houdini couldn't get loose. When I think of all the envelopes I licked and all I got to show for it is blisters in my tongue. Here. Here's one from the mayor's office, a form letter written and signed by a machine. Another day, another letter, another bureau. You have been assigned HRM 704-309. Your inquiry, HRM 704-309, referred to the Department of Real Estate. First I get numbered, then I get referred. Guess what I got from the Department of Real Estate? Dear Mr. Meltzer, in reply to your HRM 704-309, we have referred this to the Department of Housing and Redevelopment.
But we're only here to help you as much as we possibly can.
I don't take charity, Brock.
I don't give charity.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll get a couple of crates of tomatoes and plaster Gracie Magic.
Don't run up the stairs.
I've been running up downstairs for 50 years. If I stop, I'll have a heart attack. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brock, you've got a minute. I want to apologize for Dave. I mean, please help us.
He doesn't seem to want any help.
What does he know? Big butter and egg man. Mr. Brock, he won't face it. Right there, in 1933, Dave set up a bread line.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Well, every Saturday, like clockwork, 4 gross of rolls, hot dogs, everybody that was hungry. Everybody ate. Well, sure, he wanted to be a big shot, but there wasn't a nickel in the register. A man like Dave. I mean, he thinks he's Robin Hood or somebody. What I'm afraid of, I mean, some morning he's going to wake up. And all of a sudden, he's going to be 51 years old.
Well, if he changes his mind, you know where to find us. New school and playground need space. But look here, why can't the playground go here where these tenements are coming down?
Because best pocket housing is going up.
Well, then here, in this excuse for a park, why does it have to go specifically there?
Because that is the logical place for it.
Ah.
Neil, I thought you were for the Midtown plan.
I'm also for motherhood and small dogs. Meltzer isn't a slumlord. His building meets all the code requirements. The paint, every foot of BX cable, everything. All the equipment in the store came out of his pocket.
Well, then he isn't a very good businessman either. There is such a thing as bank credit.
The area's blacklisted for credit. The banks can smell the bulldozers. He couldn't get a loan to float a bar of soap. He's one guy and he's going to get clobbered.
He wants it that way. He practically spit in your eye.
What does that prove, huh? Are we for plans or people?
Both. Neil, be honest. We both figured in the same way. All his life, he has been king of the block, and he doesn't want to abdicate.
Well, there'll be something we can do for him. If he loses that store, he loses his livelihood.
But you can't save the building.
Maybe we can. I don't know, maybe we could try to get a stay of eviction or try for a zoning variance and see if we can't get the playground put someplace else. I don't know.
Neil, I know Hollister. If you throw a monkey wrench in the gears, he is going to toss you right in behind. And that goes for Morgan and the CWS.
Along with the salary, fringe benefits, and stock options, huh? I know what I'm doing.
Then don't.
He's a little guy, heck. He's just a little guy.
Big brother, manage this. All that certain plot, piece, or parcel lying situated in being lot 24, block 37, an eviction notice. 10 days, out.
Nobody's blowing the whistle on me.
It's been blowing steadily. You just won't listen.
Nobody's going to evict my tenants.
Well, why don't you marry your tenants? I don't care about them. Not Mr. Centalio, not that Michelangelo in the loft that pays us off in bent pipe.
I'll do something.
What's left for you to do?
I don't know.
Dave, you could at least talk to that Mr. Brock.
What can he do? A social worker at City Hall, they'll tear that scout uniform right off his back.
Why? Why is it? Anybody holds out his hand. You have got to chop it off at the wrist. I'm scared. I'm scared, Dave. What's going to happen to us? We need help. We need help now. Please.
Okay. I can't fight it. Judy's right, the city's right. Everybody's right but me. I'm tossing in the towel.
What am I supposed to do, catch it?
You said you wanted to take over. Take over. I give up.
I told you yesterday we don't give charity. What you want is the welfare department.
This is an eviction notice.
I read it.
Well, what happens to my tenants?
We're trying to relocate them. What about you?
Well, yesterday at the store, you said you might be able to help.
Not take over.
Oh. Like I thought. You can't do nothing about it either.
Well, lots of things we could try to do. We could try to get a stay of eviction. We could try to get a zoning variance. We could even try to get that playground moved someplace else if you really want to try.
What do you think I'm doing here?
Well, fighting City Hall isn't a very easy job, even for a young man.
What do you mean? In the quartermaster,
20 years younger than
Well, am I a senior citizen or something?
What did you do? You wrote a couple of letters, huh? Fine. But did you talk to the Department of Housing? Did you try to explain to the Midtown people or the Citizens Council on Housing and
How
Property?
many departments are there?
More than you can count. Give me one good reason why the city shouldn't tear down your building.
Of course I live there, and I got a family to support.
You don't act like it. What do you want, somebody to hold your hand?
What the hell kind of outfit are you running here? You're supposed to help people. What kind of social worker are you?
You angry enough to fight now?
On temper, Brock, I got an over-inventory.
That does it. 46 stinking feet off that playground and Dave's building stands.
Isn't that simple?
At least least I can try for a variance.
Now, while I'm in charge of the office, how many meetings, coffee, donuts, and more meetings in 4 languages to sell the plan?
I was there.
Well, then maybe you remember everybody screaming, hooray, for the Midtown plan. Because I don't remember that. All I remember is how we pleaded and begged and pushed, inch by inch, block by block.
Come on, Hattie. I asked to go to bat for one little guy, and all
Look,
I
I am not finished. You owe a responsibility to the CWS.
Quote, my primary responsibility is the welfare of the individual served, unquote. That's rule number 1. That's Dave Meltzer. He's my responsibility.
No. You chose him.
He's going down for the count.
There is nothing we can do.
And that's it, huh?
If it makes you feel any better, that is an order.
Come on.
Where are we going?
I don't know where you're going, but I'm going over your head to see Morgan. He writes to the mayor, and he gets that. Space-age correspondence out of a data processing machine. Pile of punch cards are matched against the proper form letter.
Well, what do you want the mayor to do? Answer 1,000 crank letters or run the city?
He's not a crank. All he needs is help.
All he needs is an audience. He's known about this for months.
He doesn't know his way around City Hall.
Has he looked for a store, a place to live? No. Has he leveled with his tenants? No.
He's trying to protect them.
He's trying to play God. You ask 50 people to vote for children's laughter, there'll always be one Dave Meltzer against it. They're going to be out of that building in 10 days, Neil.
Not if I can get a stay of eviction.
Whose side are you on?
I don't know. Both sides, I guess. I don't know.
You have the slightest idea of the logistics involved in this plan? For 7 years, every department in the city has thumbed it, changed it, stalled it, and finally stamped it.
I know that.
Committees, subcommittees, bureaus, sub-bureaucrats, all armed with endless time and itchy memo pads. The Board of Estimate is just about set to approve the project, and now you want to throw all gears in reverse?
I want one stinking change.
Oh, the Midtown project is not bolted together like a box. You can't pull out a piece here, juggle a piece there. It's a complicated master plan.
Sure. It's beautiful. The farther away you get, the neater it looks. I suppose from 20,000 feet up in the air, every piece fits. Not a person in sight. Utter silence. But down here, under my thumb, down there in the street, there are live people talking, walking from room to room.
Why are you telling me about the people on the street? Because I'm sitting behind this desk? I know all about the people who live down there.
Maybe you forgot.
You never forget. I spent 15 years with the SPCC, on the street, house to house. And if I learned anything in that time, it's the reality of compromise.
Spelled Meltzer.
Maybe in heaven nobody gets burned, Neil. But right here on solid rock, the borough of Manhattan, people get killed in traffic accidents every day.
Well, I guess Dave Meltzer got run over by a bulldozer.
That building is coming down, Neil. Just as surely as the new school and playground are going up. Now, you do Meltzer and his tenants a disservice holding out hope. It's not realistic. It's not good social work. Forget about that stay of eviction. Do your job, Neil. Help relocate those people. Help Meltzer find a new store. He's got to move.
How do you pack a man's life in a suitcase?
Yeah, let's forget about the building, the store, and the people who live there.
I'm not forgetting about anybody. Will you listen to me for a second?
Yeah, sure. I understand, Brock. Same in my business. When an item doesn't move, you dump it.
Dave, that isn't the only store in the world. Now, tomorrow we're going to look for another location.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Swell. 9 o'clock. All my life I've been looking forward to being a human sacrifice.
Something happened?
Nothing's happened. Grocer's honor. Absolutely nothing at all.
you got a very well-heeled clientele.
I got an idea. I'll take it. I can go the rent maybe one day, mark everything up sky high, and take a reasonable loss.
All right. Let's go look at the other place.
Asking a lot of my customers, an hour and a half on an IRT with a loaded shopping cart, just do business with me.
All right, lay off. Maybe we can find you another store.
There's only one on Kelsey Street. 3 generations. That's called Goodwill. It's the hottest item on my shelf. Can't buy that. Can't rent it. Two competitors in the same block. They got the advantage, too. They speak the language.
Okay, meet me here this afternoon. At least we can find you a place to live.
You know, Brock, I like you. A real Boy Scout. It's pouring down rain. You keep rubbing sticks together. Switch the numbers around here, 1 million people are going to be homeless.
Fresh paint. Smell it?
Mr. Meltzer. Mr. Meltzer. Is it true we are being evicted? Mr. Meltzer.
Call today, Waller. I'm closing early.
Mr. Meltzer?
Come on in, Mr. Santalio. Sit down.
You said we would not have to move.
I know I did. I was wrong.
Dave did everything he could.
Said everything was fixed. How am I going to find another loft?
What am I? A businessman or a patron of the arts?
Where will I go? All my life I spent here. I never move. I never own a suitcase.
Place you saw. Did you like it?
The greatest.
Can we all move there?
Well, I don't know.
Well, we'll do our best. It depends on the number of vacancies and your income.
What's the tariff?
Well, it's not that. It's low-cost housing. But you should have seen this place. Real class. And there's a lot of these places. Each one better than the other.
All my friends are here.
Oh, you'll make new friends. You never saw so many men just sitting around on benches waiting to talk to somebody, and I mean benches and a park right outside your front door and an elevator. Boy, I hope you all have the same break we did. Place like we saw today. This place is about ready to fall down, and I'm getting tired of holding up the walls.
I think I like to stay here.
Well, you see, Mr. Santelio, it's all been very carefully staged. You see, you move out and the new school comes in, and then new housing goes up where the slums are, and you get first crack at it.
When can we move back?
Oh, not long, Mr. Santalio. 3 or 4 years outside. Let me tell you about this place we saw today. It's new and big rooms and new. All laid out just so, and it's high up. You look down and it's like living in outer space. The whole city of New York's down there below you. Okay, so there's no loft. But it's soundproof. You can pound those bent auto fenders all night and no one will hear you. And maybe the best part is I don't have to listen anymore. The sink stopped up or the gas line's plugged. This place is electric. I mean from top to bottom. And copper plumbing with gear shifts. No faucets or washers.
A sewer. Why don't you tell them the truth?
Easy, honey.
For once, just once in your life, face the facts. It's a great big stark white sewer. You could pound on the walls till you die, and nobody would know your name or care. They'll handle it. They're used to it.
I think someone's in trouble.
Every once in a while, Grace Morrison's boyfriends, they get a little rough.
Where's her husband?
That's a good question. 12 years ago, he left to find himself. The bum's still looking. 3 kids. New fiancée every week. Because maybe one of them will marry her and rescue the kids. Who's going to rescue Grace in the housing project? The manager? And what about old man Santelio?
Thought he had a son in Hicksville.
Who knows from Hicksville? They don't want him. At least here, one washes, one cleans, one walks him to confession. Without these people here, he won't be able to find his way to the toilet.
Or name me a supermarket where the groceries are put on the cuff because maybe next month's bill might get paid. It's a neighborhood, Heck. It's not just a pile of bricks and mortar, it's people. It's a place where there's always somebody's doorbell you can ring in the middle of the night.
People move every day.
Right choice. This man's 51 years old. Tomorrow he's going to take a job loading vegetables.
I feel sorry for him, Neil.
I feel sorry for the whole world. But neighborhood is tied together as delicately as a spider web. Is Judge Bartlett... Hello, sir. This is Neil Brock. I'm awfully sorry about it this late. Yes, sir. I understand how late... Well, Judge, I had to see you. Is that possible? No, it won't wait. Yeah, tonight? All right, fine. Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You don't really look any different.
What are you doing up? It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
You go to work in an hour. Fix your breakfast.
Oh, I'll catch something on the job.
And then load vegetables at the produce market? No. I'll watch you eat a good breakfast, Dave. It's not the kind of job for you.
Every day of the world, I've been hauling in 4 crates of milk, canned goods, sodas. How many thousands of crates do you think that makes? Only now I get paid for it for a change. What am I? An old man or something? You know, maybe I should have stayed in the Army. Who knows? Maybe now it'd be Meltzer David, Colonel, Canned Goods Department, 8-ounce division.
I don't think I'd have married a full colonel.
I forget. Why did you?
You said you were a big butter and egg man. Name a Bohack or something.
At least somebody like that's loaded with life insurance.
Don't you say that. Don't you dare say that. We always made a living, and we will. We'll manage.
Who's that?
Hi, good morning. We got a stay of eviction.
So, what do? Go to Bermuda? I just lost my business.
Not yet.
Brock, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't you think you better take off that scout uniform and hit the sack?
Look, I stuck my neck out for this all the way to Magistrate's Court.
Who asked you? I'm going to work.
Listen, we're going to get us a zoning variance 46 feet long, and we're going to tear City Hall apart.
It won't hold up in court.
It'll hold for a while, long enough for us to hustle around and see what we can do.
I'm getting tired of being a ping-pong ball, so in a couple of days, we're right back where we started.
Well, we can't quit now.
Why?
Because the city needs more friendly, soft-spoken, even-tempered, friendly, gentle, 51-year-old grocers. That's why.
Sure, the Department of Real Estate is concerned with zoning variances, but in the first place, you won't get a variance, and in the second place, it wouldn't help you.
What will?
Find out who decided to put the playground there. Get him to change it.
Here, take 100 feet. Back here, you can take 200. Why does it have to be right there?
The Board of Education doesn't want the school playground here. Believe me.
Well, why? In the name of sanity, why?
It's the best we could get. It's a compromise.
I'm supposed to be an architect, but I collect. Why? Because the fire department, the health department, every department has rules, regulations, rights, and specifications. And this is what the school should look like. And that's where it should be built.
Why does it have to go here?
Because somehow 100 different departments have agreed that this site meets all the rules, regulations, rights, and specifications.
The Board of Estimate has passed the Midtown Plan. They're not going to amend it.
A man's existence is involved.
Political dynamite is involved. If the board makes an exception, every borough president will be accused of bribery or free groceries for life. Forget it.
I can't give him his building because I didn't take it. Neil, you and I are in the same business.
Be practical.
If I was practical, I'd be in a nice, secure line like alligator wrestling.
Talk to Dr. Markham. He's helping us collate a very complex set of facts.
You too? Every department in the city collates. I'm up to here in red tape and blind man's buff.
Not Mr. Meltzer alone, but facts about him and many others.
Let's just say pieces of David Meltzer are here.
And there are lots like him. Why do you suppose we've set up this bureau?
You tell me.
We're moving into the neighborhoods as a team. Psychologists, sociologists, to get a profile of its problems.
You don't need a profile. Just walk out into the street.
Take my word, the method is statistically sound.
Man isn't a statistic. He's a person.
Granted. But statistics are made out of people. From people to statistics and back to people again. It's all here, Mr. Brock. The entire Midtown plan, every man, woman, and child. Inefficiency, conflict of authority, responsibility overlap. This baby will get to the bottom of that.
Good. What I need is a simple yes or no answer.
Yeah, next week I'm on a street just like Eastside. So, we have the complex of the city on the one hand and the problems of Midtown renewal on the other. Now, we're going to untangle them and reweave them into a solid, workable cloth.
You are for real, aren't you?
In something as big as this, you can't see the forest for the trees. The trick is to treat geographic, economic, and social human problems on a single
plane. You don't spout sociological double talk to me, Doctor. I live with these people. We smell each other's social, geographic, and human problems 16 hours a day, Sundays and holidays.
Well, we won't find a simple answer.
We won't find any answer. You know why? Because the answer doesn't matter. It's the profile that's fun. I'm talking about people. With luck, they get up in the morning, they stumble through the day, and they fall in bed at night. With luck.
I know what I'm doing.
That's the fantastic part about it. You do know what you're doing. You're shoving Meltzer into a machine like a sausage. He gets ground up, and then gets labeled and replastered with over 1,000 surveys. Here are Meltzer. Age, height, weight. Take one last look at a real live person, huh? All in one piece. You don't recognize him, do you? Now you recognize him, though, don't you? He's all in one plane. Here. Here. Make him breathe. Come on, make him breathe. You can't. All the city's machines and all the city's departments can't put them together again. I've seen it.
What in the name of common sense were you trying to do?
I asked Mr. Hollister to join us to see if we can't clear up this mess that you've made.
You went through City Hall like a bulldozer.
Somebody had to.
And this is the way.
I didn't plan that.
But you did it. And after the sob stories are over, you know what will happen? Nothing, because nothing can be done.
If I held back every time the odds were high, I could spend all day in the rec hall.
I'm not interested in discussing the odds. I live with them 24 hours a day. Where's your sense of responsibility?
Where it belongs, with my client, Dave Meltzer.
You're supposed to be a social worker, trained in helping people.
What do you think I was doing?
Licking your own wounds, indulging your anger through one man alone, and the Midtown plan be damned.
I never said that.
I can find fanatics and crusaders on the street. I don't need them. I need trained, skilled professionals. I'm not interested in your plan for Build a Better Meltzer Week.
And I just stand by and watch while he gets killed.
The rules of social work?
I know the rules.
Well, there's one you forgot. It's just like medicine. Get emotionally involved and the scalpel slips. And that's exactly what happened, Neil. You not only lost a patient, you gave every social worker a black eye.
It isn't that simple.
Well, that's exactly how simple you made it.
Maybe you're one of the slums or fun crowd.
Slums stink. Kelsey Street is no slum. But that project, copper plumbing, fresh paint, but still a slum. Tomorrow's slum, we're building them for the next 3 generations. Kelsey Street is a neighborhood. It works. People are happy there.
We're going to issue a retraction for the press.
No, sir, I'm not.
Forget the papers, Tom. I couldn't care less about public opinion.
Why should you? The plan has already passed the Board of Estimate. Everything to the greatest good, huh?
On the nose.
All I know is that either the city is people or we've blown the whole bit.
Wipe the stars out of your eyes, boy. This city is run by 8 million selfish people, each one worrying about his own problem. The rent braces on the kids' teeth, and most of them don't know what's good for them.
But you do.
I do.
Who are you, the king of New York?
I've earned the title. I believe in this city. Out of sweat, steel, and poured concrete, I made it. Look out there. Pick any direction, and you'll see my shadow. Nobody's done more for this city than I have.
Anybody who disagrees can always leave.
Neil!
Nobody's ever accused me of buttering my bank account. Name me another developer who builds housing for $20 a room for peanuts because the city needs it.
To you, it's all one big exciting chess game. And I work down there, Mr. Hollister, down there on the pavement. When you pack people together, they get more lonely.
30 years ago, Mr. Brock, I was like you, working on my ulcer. And I got one. Look at me when I talk to you, son. I've earned that much. 30 years ago, I had to uproot thousands of people for that hospital. And those project buildings over there, stinking slums. But they all cried and begged to stay.
Home is a state of mind.
I worried by night. Tried to carry every suitcase by day. I must have sat next to 300 families on the long subway ride out to the new neighborhood. Funny. It always seemed to be the last stop. But you know something? I never heard from a single person.
Maybe they died.
Maybe they did. But the hospital's still there. And thank God it's there.
It must be very comforting to have devoted your whole life to public service and never once have had one damn doubt.
I want that statement.
Morgan. Hollister did.
Hollister?
Something about sparing you an ulcer. What's going to happen to him?
It's already happened, Hackney. He's been stoned to death by little pieces of paper. Come on, Dave. Get the lead out. Meter's running, eats up a week's salary.
I think maybe we'll walk around the block a couple of times.
I understand.
You take it easy, Brock.
I'll be in touch.
You do that.
all, kid.
Hey, what is it with you, Eddie? You're into me for 75 skins already? You're planning a little action? Hey, you got some extra money burning a hole in your pocket. Make a payment. Don't kid me, Ace. You never write your jobs down till you pull in.
I don't, huh? You want such a crummy Shylock? I'll let you take a reading off the meter.
You were born for this business, Eddie. You'll die right in that seat. Now, why don't you quit tailing me all over town, you leech? Make a payment. You'll get yours.
Downtown heliport.
Like a gentleman.